And the definition section identifies to whom that statute or law, rule, or regulation applies. And it will never, ever, ever say men or women.
It'll say?
Persons.
Okay. All right.
Why?
Persons are tokens.
You need to ask that question. Why can't women be women?
Why does a woman have to be a person?
That's right. And so when we won this equality thing, we all became tokens. We should have remained men, and women should remain women.
Okay.
Saying a woman is like a person is like saying an apple is an orange.
Right.
That can happen in law.
Because we're talking about law.
Anything goes.
All right, let's talk about this Bank Act. Is that what we want to talk about now?
Well, yeah, and that's, I guess we could start here back to the Monopoly game.
All right, let's go to back to the Monopoly game.
Keeping in mind that the player is not obligated, when the player comes to play Monopoly here, he does not bring money to the table.
Yeah, right, they just show up.
The game provides it to the player for purposes of playing the game.
Right.
And the same thing is going on out there, but where is it?
Okay, it's in the bank.
Okay, we all got this token to play the game out there. It's the people in the country here, the labor that is building the homes and the cars and the TVs and the furniture that ends up on the Monopoly game.
Okay.
Right? Doesn't come from the game, it comes from the people. So
right.
The players are building these instruments, these homes, TVs, furnitures, all our luxuries, our airplanes, our aircraft, apartment buildings, you name it. The highways, the telephone poles, the wires, all of it.
Yeah, people build it.
Is the people outside of the game, in their natural state, building these things for the game.
Okay.
Of which we're all players.
Okay.
Okay, so we need to, again, get that in perspective. And we also, the game comes with the money so that the players can acquire the properties.
Right.
For the token.
Yeah.
Not themselves.
The token is what plays the game.
That's right.
The token's the game.
That's right, which is that legal name on that certificate.
Okay.
So people are driving around out there in a car they think is their car, but it's not.
It belongs
legally to the token.
Okay.
Because it's registered in the name of the token.
Well, I'm watching the movie The Matrix. Okay, go on.
As is the house.
All right, go.
As is the phone service, the hydro service, all of these things. Remember, the player is not the token, and everything that's going on out there is addressing the token,
okay.
Not people.
Got it.
Ever.
Keep going.
And again, in here, there's no mention of men and women in here.
In
persons. In the laws out there.
In the laws out there.
In every law book out there, except the Bank Act.
Okay.
And the Securities Act.
All right.
Those two acts or statutes are recognize people in their natural state, if you will, and they don't call it men and women, but they refer to it as us as natural persons, which simply means human being.
Okay, so it actually says in the act a natural person.
That's right.
And I'm a natural person, and so are you.
That's correct.
Fair.
So are women.
Okay.
But if you want to be a person, to say you're a person is to say you're a token.
Ah, okay. All right, good.
That's what the law will see.
Okay.
You know, if a lawman sees someone says he's a person, I've got authority over you. You're a token.
Right. But if I say I'm a natural person and have no authority over me.
No.
All right, keep going.
Zero.
All right.
So the player is not required to come to the game with money. The game provides the money.
Okay, right.
But because we've been acting like a token, believing that this is our house we're buying, then we go to the bank to borrow money to buy a house for the token. It's not even our house, when all we had to do was go to the bank and get the money, to ask for the money, rather than borrow the money.
Okay, explain.
I just did.
I do it again. Well, because why this time?
The game comes with the money.
Okay,
so your Bank of Canada in Ottawa is the banker here.
Oh, right, so it's got money.
That's right.
And it says, so I can go to that bank and say, I need money to start my game.
It's the source of the money.
Source of money, okay.
It's not your local charter bank is not the source. The Bank of Canada is the source, and it filters through into the economy through the charter banks.
All right.
So all the all the charter banks, though, there are agents for the Bank of Canada, our bank.
Okay.
You were going to bring the piggy bank in here. And,
I didn't bring the piggy bank. I should have brought the piggy bank. Sorry.
The thing is there is no money in the bank. It doesn't really exist, but it's an accounting entry. But when a requisitionist, say, when you go to a bank to borrow money, the first step is to issue the bank a promise to pay.
Right.
That bank then takes that promise to pay and gets the money from the Bank of Canada, which is just basically an accounting entry, if you will. But they need that note first.
So I go to the bank and say, I want to borrow some money.
Yep.
I want you to give me a loan. And I sign this little piece of paper saying that I'm going to pay for that loan.
Yep.
They take that loan, they take that piece of paper and walk over to the bank.
And they come and get money.
Okay, they come and get the money. All right. and then the bank comes back to me and goes, here's your money.
Here's your money.
Thank you. Okay, it's in the game.
Hang on here, sir. Before we give you that money, we need you to sign over here that you're going to promise to pay us that money back plus interest. And if you don't pay, we get your house.
Right.
Okay, so just sign the dotted line here. And
So I sign off on that.
okay, so you've signed that you're going to pay us all this money back to the bank, and you're
Right.
going to pay plus the interest. And if you don't pay, you know you're losing your house, right?
Yep.
Okay, here's the money. Good
All
luck
right.
to
All right.
you. That's option number one.
Okay.
That's one way of doing things, and that is how everyone is doing things. Because, well, I'll let you people let the people decide where they're doing that, but probably because, and there's no blame here. Our parents did that, and our grandparents did that, and it's just all we know.
Okay.
And we get stuck in this path of not bothering to seek another path, so we just bought into the same story everyone else is doing.
Processionary caterpillar.
The collective consciousness, it's all the same public idea here.
Okay. All right.
But what happened here in this little transaction that we just did is that you gave a note to the chartered bank, who went over here and got money.
I gave the note to my local bank location, who then went to the big bank, which is called Bank of Canada,
That's right.
and said, I got a piece of paper that this guy says he wants money,
Yep.
and now give me money.
Yep.
And the bank says,
Here
sure,
it
no
is.
problem.
That's right.
Okay, so now the local bank, whoever it is, has the money in the hand, and I come and get it, and then I agree to that local guy to say, here's my money, and I'm going to give you extra money back for the fact that
You lent it to me.
you lent it to me.
That's right.
But that local bank didn't give me anything.
No. Whose note was it, Garth?
I signed the note.
You signed the note. Well, signing a note is like painting a picture. You're the maker.
I made the note.
Okay, when you sign a check or you sign a note,
Yeah.
you're the maker.
Okay.
It's your note.
All right?
Okay?
Yeah?
And so you gave your note to your bank,
Right.
who took it over here to get money.
Right.
Whose money is it?
Well,
Remember, it's your note, not the bank's note. It's your note.
well, it's my money.
Exactly. If I sell your car, Garth, whose money is it?
My money.
If I sell anything that belongs to you,
It's my money.
so that's
So
be careful what you ask for.
All right,
what
so-
it comes down to.
So we have to, when we walk in, we don't go ask, we want to borrow money. We don't want to loan money. We want to go to the bank and say, can I have some money?
That's right.
But hang on a second.
But you need to have some knowledge here. This is
That's not. All right, let's
This
go,
is
let's go to a break. We're going to run out of time. But all right, Vic, thanks for doing what you do. Be right back with more of Vic Beck, First Take Live. With Vic Beck here. All right, so I go to my local bank. I sign a note saying that whatever the note is, I want money because I want money to fund this token to go whatever it needs to go and do. It takes it to the big bank. The bank says to them, okay, here's the money that guy signed for, and I'm going to give the money.
Yep. But let me just, if I may quickly clarify, in that note that we talked about a moment ago, that you gave to your bank, that bank took and got money from the Bank of Canada.
Yeah.
That note was signed by you in your capacity as a natural person.
The guy playing the game.
That's the guy playing the game,
Not the token.
Not the token.
Okay, good.
Okay,
Yep.
so it's your signature on that promise to pay that actually is the money.
Okay.
Or the means to the money, your money.
Okay.
And what's happening here is when you're getting the money, it's to not to accommodate for yourself, because remember, the player is not part of the game. He's separate from the game.
Right.
So the reason you're asking for the money is just like in the game of Monopoly is here, is for the tokens purposes.
Yeah, it's got to eat, it's got to wash, it's got to
That's
draw
right.
a card, it's got the token.
That's
token
right.
needs stuff.
That's right. It's just simply for accounting, though, under the name of the token. But technically, on paper, that house is registered to the token, so your note is funding a loan so the token can buy the house that we built that you're going to get to live in.
Okay, good. Okay.
Okay, and so that's to make that clear. So it's the signature of the natural person in that capacity, and that capacity only, that note is as good as the money sitting over here.
All right.
It's the access to it.
Okay. Now, you have great knowledge of the Bank Act. And the Bank Act, Section 2 and Section 15 are something that are very dear to you because they tell you what?
Well, it's a repeat here, and I got the Holy Bible here, and it's if you go back to Genesis 1:26 through 28, basically this is where God gave dominion. God made man in His image,
Right.
and gave man dominion over the earth. Under Section 15 of the Bank Act, essentially the Parliament of Canada made a bank in the image of man.
Okay.
Okay, and if you understand authority, okay,
Yeah.
I think we'll all agree that there's a supreme being up there that's running the show here, really. Man is number 2, bank is number 3. Okay, and what that means essentially is that if a bank is a creditor, then we're a better creditor.
So the bank, okay, because the bank is now the equivalent of a person, though. It's no
Yep,
better.
a natural person,
No,
legally.
like-
It's given the status of a natural person, of a human being, legally, although it doesn't have legs and
We
can't
got
walk.
2 minutes. All right, so keep going. So
Okay.
now that you understand this in the Bank Act.
Yep, so the bank is a creditor to the game.
Yep.
But without the people, there could not exist a bank.
Okay.
So this is why in the Bank Act also that note that you gave that we talked about earlier that you sign in the capacity as a natural person that your bank took over here to get the money
Yeah.
is not a debt obligation.
It is
Very
not.
critical to understand that. That promise to pay is not a debt obligation, and it is not a debt obligation because natural persons are not debtors. Entities are and tokens are. Okay? So it's right in the Bank Act.
Okay.
So there's no requirement to repay, and all that's happening here is that, and the Supreme Court of Canada has said very clearly that it's the natural resources of the country and the industry of the people that backs government obligations, that backs the money. So whose money is it? At the end of the day, it's our money, and so we have full right to ask for the money, but we have to be in the proper capacity and proper status and understand how the game is going in order to get that money. If you want the money for yourself, you're not going to get it. If you want it for the token, that's a different story.
Because the token has to eat, the token has
Because
to
this
pay.
money does not come into the player's pocket. It stays with the game.
Okay, so we got about 30 seconds left. So Vic, you don't do many seminars on this anymore. One of the books you said that was a good one to read was Babylonian Woe.
Babylonian Woe, it's a private publication. It is not available on in bookstores. You can only acquire it on the internet.
Okay.
And it will share with you how we used to be thousands of years ago,
Yes.
and how we've evolved into this whole concept of ownership and why we're in the pickle we're in today. You'll see it all right there.
All right, I got to let you go, but it's been a fascinating tour, and we got to have you back for part 2. Vic, part 2. Thanks. Hey, thanks
Thank
for
you very
watching
much.
tonight. Hope you enjoyed us. Let's go play Monopoly. We already are. And thanks to Paula Beebe for doing a great job, and also for the crew for doing what they do. Thanks for being with us tonight. Have a great weekend, okay? If you don't, it's your fault. See you.